Hello and welcome to Amid the Chaos. If you're new here, this channel is your home for all things related to historically grounded tabletop wargaming. Whether it's phalanxes clashing or arquebuses firing, we're here to make your tabletop battles feel rich and rewarding. Today we're talking about something that elevates your game beyond just lining up miniatures and rolling dice: scenario design. If you stay to the end of this video, we will use the framework I present here to design a scenario for the Battle de la Souffel of June 1815, the last battle of the Napoleonic Wars and a French victory. So this video is for players and designers alike who want to craft battles that feel more like stories and less like math problems. So let's begin by unpacking what a scenario really is. Most wargames offer a default mode of play, typically something like two symmetrical forces lining up on opposite sides and trying to annihilate each other. There's nothing wrong with that, of course, but what if you want more than just a straight-out brawl? That's where scenarios come in. A scenario reframes the battle. It provides a context, a story, a reason for why the forces are fighting, and crucially what they need to do to win. Scenarios change how the game begins, what happens during the action, and how it all ends. So instead of "let's kill them all," maybe it's "rescue the hostages," "hold the bridge," or "escape the valley before reinforcements arrive." Now you might be wondering, why bother writing your own scenarios? Aren't the ones that come in the book good enough? Well, absolutely they are. They're great starting points. But writing your own scenarios is where the real magic happens. And here's why. Scenario design is the safest way to customize your gaming experience. Unlike changing the core rules or unit stats, which can unbalance your game pretty quickly, scenarios operate on top of the rule set. They're modular. That means you can experiment without breaking anything. Secondly, it's an excellent way to sharpen your understanding of game design. A scenario lets you test the limits of your rule set. You can discover what works, what doesn't, and how far you can bend the system before it breaks. And finally, it's fun. If you enjoy storytelling, problem solving, or just surprising your players with a fresh challenge, scenario design is for you. So let's break down the essential components of a solid scenario. You don't need to reinvent the wheel, just follow this structure. Firstly, flavor text. This is your narrative hook. It sets the stage for the battle. Are the Romans defending a mountain pass? Are mercenaries looting a village? A few lines of rich text will draw players in. Then are the setup rules. These define how the armies are deployed and what the terrain looks like. Think about terrain placement, initial conditions, and any restrictions. Is it a dawn raid, a night ambush, or is one force surrounded? Then you can add special rules. These are unique mechanics that modify how the game is played. It could be anything from weather effects to time pressure to reinforcements arriving mid-game. And then every scenario needs victory conditions. This is the heart of your scenario. What are the players trying to achieve? Is it holding objectives, extracting very important people, or simply surviving for a number of turns? So then there's the end conditions. When does the scenario end? Is it after a fixed number of turns, when one side breaks, or when a certain object is completed? This ensures that your game has a clear narrative. Optionally, you may have force selection limits. You might add constraints here, like only allowing light infantry or completely banning cavalry. But be cautious, you don't want to punish your players for bringing the wrong models to the game. So deployment is where your scenario really takes shape. Let me give you a couple of classic examples. In a last stand scenario, one force deploys in a fortified position while the other surrounds them. In an ambush scenario, one army is deployed in march column and the attackers set up hidden along the flanks. These setups immediately convey a story, and that story changes the mood and the tactics of the game. Special rules are your spice rack. They add flavour, but like any spice, use them wisely. A good rule of thumb is that every special rule you introduce should affect both sides equally, or at least be balanced across the life of the scenario. Think about fog reducing terrain or wild animals being stirred up by the battle. If you include random events, make sure they're easy to track and not overly complex. A single D6 roll at the start of each round is a great way of determining this. So now let's talk about endings. A scenario without a satisfying end condition is like a story without a climax, and it happens more often than you'd think. Make sure your game ends at the right moment. Too late and the tension fizzles out. Too early and the players don't get to act on their plans. And the victory condition should tell the players this is what matters. The key is alignment. The victory condition should align with what's fun about your scenario. If the victory is gained by sitting in a corner while avoiding conflict, but the scenario feels like it should be a brutal battle, then you've got a mismatch. And avoid double dipping, where killing enemy units both weakens their chance to win and gives you direct victory points. That often leads to runaway victories and unfun games. So let's talk through the development of a scenario using this framework. As promised, we'll use the Battle de la Souffel on the 28th of June 1815. Your flavour text would be, after Napoleon's defeat at Waterloo, General Rapp decided to pull his army of the Rhine back towards Paris. He is pursued by the vanguard of a multinational coalition, mainly Austrian troops on this occasion. Rapp decides to make a stand along the banks of the Souffel River, which has steep banks. So your setup rules are the terrain. As this scenario is based on an actual battle that took place, the terrain layout can be copied from maps of the battle. The Souffel River has steep banks and is impassable except at the bridges. For deployment, the French army can set up anywhere within the area outlined in light blue on the map. This is south of the river and encompasses the two main villages of Niederhasenbergen and Bischheim. The coalition army can set up within their deployment zones outlined in yellow. For special rules, unless the rules you are following provide an activation order, the coalition unit should start first. There are no other special rules for this scenario. Victory conditions, well, there are 5 hexes on the map that are worth victory points. Each of the 3 bridges across the river are worth 1 point, and the villages of Niederhasenbergen and Bischheim are worth 2 points. So there are 7 victory points available. At the start of the scenario, the French control each of the objectives. At the end of the scenario, if neither army breaks, the side controlling the most victory points is the winner. The end conditions are that the scenario ends after 12 turns, or when one side breaks as defined by the rules that you are using. Alternatively, the scenario will end at the end of any turn in which the coalition forces control all the victory points. An optional rule could be force selection. In the battle that actually took place in 1815, the coalition force was made up entirely of units of horse and horse artillery. And you can decide if your scenario will follow the historical limitations or just use any armies that your players choose. So that is your scenario for refighting the Battle de la Souffel, the last battle of the Napoleonic Wars and a French victory. So in closing, scenario design is both an art and a science. It doesn't require you to be a rules lawyer or a historian, just someone who wants to bring a bit more drama and tension to the tabletop. To recap, a scenario is a framework that changes the way your game plays. It's a great place to explore creativity slowly. Start with a strong structure, flavour, setup, special rules, victory and end conditions. Keep it fair and fairly exciting. Most importantly, test it, refine it, and share it. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. Got a favourite scenario you've designed or played? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to join us on Facebook. The link's below. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one. Well, thank you for watching. I hope you found it informative. Please don't forget to hit like, leave a comment, and subscribe for more videos about the Amid the Chaos rule set. So we'll see you in the next one, and in the meantime, take care.